Speaking of Rogan, so he's got Trump coming on in.
Is that true? I keep
saw
hearing
that.
everything.
I heard that.
I think they confirmed it now that
They
Trump's
confirmed it. I heard Kamala was going on, then I heard she denied it, and now
Yeah.
it's a good source. It just like tweets.
Yeah, I would love it, and it would be so funny if like it was 4 hours of not even tangentially approaching politics, just being like, Joe, I'm not sold on this giant yeti you're saying's living in the mountains. I don't get it. Here's the evidence, and he's just
Gigantopithecus. You've got to understand there's fossil evidence. No, that would be good. What I hope,
Donald, have you ever heard of Göbekli Tepe?
You know, Randall Carlson,
old Turkish civilization that they say is like
who would be the best guest? Who would be the best guest for Rogan to sort of bring on with Trump and from his universe, like Alex Jones? Like if Alex Jones showed up out of nowhere, he's like, Mr. President, I need to talk to you about a few things. I've run into some financial troubles, some legal tragedies, if you will, have befallen me.
He interrupts too much. I might
always
prefer Eddie Bravo. Like same level of crazy, but a little better at waiting for his turn.
Who's like a funny person that like Trump could play off of? Like Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis. Throw Shane Gillis in the mix, and that would be hysterical.
He does the impression and everything really well. That would be fun. What I hope he does is what kind of the nerdy part of me has always wanted to people to ask presidents, and it's about like aliens and UFOs and stuff like that. I want to know some stuff about that. I want to know. I want him to ask Trump to his face stuff about that, and Bigfoot too. I don't believe in Bigfoot, but ask him about it. Do you believe in Bigfoot, Mr. President? Do you think it's possible?
Nah, I was joking. Don't waste time on Bigfoot. I'd waste a little time on aliens.
I object to the idea that this is a waste of time. I'm on Kyle's team here. I desperately want. I bet when Trump was elected, like it got power, one of the first things he asked was about aliens.
I bet like if you asked like whatever CIA handler team gets assigned to all the new incoming presidents, and you like got to interview whatever little club that is, they'd be like, oh yeah, aliens first question for all of them. Like every single one, ever since fucking Eisenhower, they're dying to know.
And JFK, like what does he know about JFK?
Yeah,
he didn't release
all the secrets.
I think those documents were scheduled to be released to the public, and Trump like kicked the can down the road when it came time. It may have been Biden, but it was recent when it happened. Because I remember watching Oliver Stone's JFK, tremendous movie about it, by the way, with a crazy good cast, with my dad, my mom, like I don't know, when I was 15, and my dad not thinking he would live this long, being like, when you get in 2024. Y'all look into this. I specifically remember him saying this to us when we were kids. Like maybe not the year, but like they at the end of the movie they say, you know, it's been classified until the year 2023 or something like that. At the end of this movie, I specifically remember my dad being like, y'all look into this whenever they release that information. Good God. And they just kick the can down the road. They won't tell us what happened.
Whatever happened to that dude he had one of the biggest episodes on Rogan ever, and it was all about aliens and some spaceship that he found or something. Do you remember that guy?
Oh, yeah. That's
yes,
the guy who claimed to have worked at Area 51. His name's escaping me right now. He had it was weird. During his appearance, he claimed to have like a migraine or something and to have a hard time concentrating. And it was like, well, man, maybe we could have done this tomorrow. Like
Bob Lazar. He's like
Bob Lazar,
the highest viewed podcast ever.
That's awesome. Like a futurist,
really,
with the last name Laser.
You know the Bob Lazar like lore, right, Taylor? He's the guy who, he worked at Caltech or MIT or something like that. And
you've told me about this guy. Yes.
Yeah, one of the he claims he was recruited to work on captured UFOs and try to reverse engineer them, and that he looked at them, saw multiple kinds of them, and he said he described how they were powered, and the only thing that can really be substantiated is he described their hand scan, like biometric entry at that Air Force base, like years before that was public information. And it's like, well, he worked there, like he kind of knew the layout of the building, like clearly he worked there. And then there is some evidence that some of his documents have been like erased after the fact, because I don't think there's any evidence that he has a degree of any kind. And yet he was definitely recruited by the Air Force to work on something at Area 51. So
yeah, I believe he was working on something.
It's a weird mystery behind that guy. I don't know about the alien spacecraft thing.
This podcast is 5 years old now. There's got to be something since then that's of note, you would think.
Well,
Yeah.
Lazar's been talking that game since like the 80s. Like there's old TV footage telling the same story as he's telling now from 30, 40 years ago or something like that. So I don't know. I don't think I believe aliens flew here in a ship and crashed and then we captured them. I'm not sure if I believe that. Something else might have happened though. I do kind of like that theory that they're time travelers, Taylor, that it's us in those ships and that we've time traveled back to this time in our like TARDISes. And every now and then somebody fucks up and crashes and we scoop that shit up.
What are we traveling back in time to do? Just to confuse people in the past?
Do research, do time travel shit. Maybe they need some genetic material from
time
us.
Travel shit.
Bro, what I mean, like how many memes are there about like what dudes would do if they could time travel? You'd go back and you'd give some little nudges here and there. Who knows how awful our reality would be without the help of the time travelers?
I don't know if I like this theory. If I had time travel capabilities, I would go back and immediately take advantage of it. I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna,
That's why you only allow the chrono people. No, only the chrono cops have access to TARDISes. So they're above reproach.
I think you're thinking of Looper, which is a movie with Bruce Willis.
Oh,
R.I.P. or mentally R.I.P.
Yeah, mentally R.I.P. It seems like it's from an alternate universe. I mean, he's doing like he does YouTube podcasts now. You know what I mean? Like he's.
You know what I like about?
He's got a crypto coin, Taylor.
Forgetting about the crypto thing, the transition, like political figures doing podcasts instead of radio shows. Like I love that.
Yes.
Like just seeing that transition.
The Nelt podcast as like a major activation.
That's incredible. Like, I mean, more selfishly, because this is what we do, but like really solidifying the replacement of traditional radio with podcasting and seeing establishment politicians in their 70s and 80s or whatever actually engaging with it. Like that's the future. Look at fucking Howard Stern's ratings.
I agree, but for a different reason. I like the long form of it. Like
that's true.
Who's the guy who wanted to give everybody basic income? Michael Yang? Does that sound right?
Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang. Thank you. He says everyone gets free money, and you're like, what is this horse shit? And then he gets on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he gets to really detail where he's going to find the money and how it happens. And you're like, you don't get this in 2.5 minutes. It takes 2.5 hours. Bernie Sanders went on the JRE and he explained where he was coming from, and he became immensely more popular. If you give these people a minute to talk, and by that, I mean 2 hours to talk, then you get to hear what they're really going for. And that doesn't happen on CNN when they have 3.5 minutes to fill. Go. If they don't like the way it's going, they filibuster. There's this one rhetorical trick that drives me crazy where like you'll be like, hey, I think people are concerned about this. And they'll be like, you know what people are concerned about? Border security and this and that and whatever. It's like, just because you used one of my words in your answer doesn't mean you answered my question.
Yeah.
You're just pretending you did.
Reframe it to whatever answer they wanted to give.
That's where I wish that it was.
That's
more
like the tip in politics and in PR is like, don't answer the question you're asked. Answer the question you wish you were asked.
Right. But in 2.5 hours, you get to sort of relax. It's a little non-confrontational and tell people what you're about. And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I wish it was more like, who wants to be a millionaire then? I want Regis Philbin to go, you didn't answer the question. No points. All right, Kamala. That's not how you pronounce my name. Oh, you're going to lose.
Oh, you did.
Already lost a point there.
No.
Points from Kamala.
Well, what type of home did you grow up in? Upper class? Middle class? Lower class? It's like, middle class. And then they'd be like, okay, yeah, you get your. I mean, Regis Philbin's dead, so I don't think he could do that.
He's not dead.
Regis Philbin's. Is he not dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, you gaslit me for a second there.
All right, well, Drew Carey then. Drew Carey. He's doing the Price is Right.
No, you know what? I want Steve Harvey.
Oh,
I'm gonna do for the tax code. He's like, I'm gonna give taxes to all the whoever, and he's like, like giving his like big eyes and mustache look. That would be so fucking funny. His big teeth. Steve Harvey's hilarious. He gets a bad rap.
You serious?
He's funny.
I think he was like real backstabby, like trying to mess up other people's careers in the past.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I think Cat Williams had a whole thing about Steve Harvey.
Cat Williams doesn't like him?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if there's a beef between Steve Harvey and Cat Williams, I'm Team Cat all the way. Cat Williams is so funny. I love
Man,
it.
I want to be Cap. I want
He's
to be
super
Cap.
funny.
Oh, he's hilarious and he tells great stories.